athletes, today we're going to learn run progression. This is actually a two-part series. The first part is just all about posture. So the first thing that we want to talk about is midline stabilization, okay? So if you are an athlete that runs kind of like this, right, which is a lot of midline. Midline means right in the middle of our body. If you're moving side to side or rotating too much, you most likely have a midline stabilization issue. And how do we fix that? Well, there's several ways that we can fix that. The first way is we can get into a hollow rock, which is something that I love to do, and there's a video of that in past YouTube channel stuff. But what I want you to do is get your feet up like this. I'm pushing my stomach into the ground, and I'm keeping my head and hands above, like this, okay? If you can hold that for a minute, your midline stabilization is great. Another way of doing that, midline stabilization, easy, plank. You can get into this plank position and hold that. Now again, both of those, my gold standards are 1 minute by 5, so 5 rounds of 1 minute. If you can do that, you've mastered midline stabilization. Okay, the second thing is your neck. When we're running, if your neck is like this, or your neck is like this, that is also going to affect your midline stabilization. It's going to also affect your running posture. What we actually want is our chin to come in and nice and tall. So if we think about taking a line from the crown of our head, like right here, and we pull it up, like so, and we bring our chin in. So what does that look like on the side? Our side, what it looks like is we're bringing our chin in like this, and we're getting really tall. Okay, the third thing about posture is whether or not your shoulders are leaned forward or back, okay? So sometimes I see this. So if your neck is like this, your shoulders are most likely like this. So you're gonna run like this, okay? I call this the shell run. That is going to close up your lungs. You're not able to get as much oxygen as we want. The other thing is the extreme lean back. So we actually lean back from our hips. So we run like this, like we're looking up the whole time. Again, that's going to give you a lot of back pain, and it's not the most efficient way of running. The most efficient way of running is exactly like how a soldier would stand, which is nice and tall, straight, shoulders back, chest out. Again, if you look at it from the side, our shoulders aren't forward, our shoulders are back. We're squeezing our scapula together. Our center of gravity in the middle of our chest is right over our hips, right? We're not like this, and we're not like this. We're right over our hips, nice and straight. All right, the last thing about posture is what do you do with your hands? So a lot of people run this, I call it the chop suey. They run like this, okay? They're not moving through their shoulder, they're just moving through their elbow. So what we actually want to do is we want to bring our hands, so the first thing we want to do is pretend that we have two pieces of paper in our hands between our thumb and our first finger, and we want to hold our hands like this. Then what we want to do is we want to get into a straight wrist position, neutral. So you don't want your wrist to be like this or like this. You want it to be neutral. You want to get to a 90-degree position like this. Now the other thing is when we run, we want to rotate through our shoulder because we're in that nice soldier position. And we want to go up to about 90 degrees here, and we want to bring our hand into the side of our body. Now when we come through, we actually want to make sure, a cue is that we're rubbing our rib with our elbow on both sides, like so. Rubbing our elbow on the inside of our rib like this. Now, how do we do this? Well, how do we practice this? Well, we can practice by getting into a soldier position like this, like so. Our chin in, nice in the soldier posture. And what we're going to do for 30 seconds is just move our arms in this position. Notice that when I do this, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm keeping very straight. I'm trying to keep my midline very, very tight. And I'm just rotating through my shoulder. Okay? So those are the 3 keys to posture and running. Our next video is going to be talking about how we can progress into running. But those are my main points. And if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me on social media, which will be right here. And the last thing is, move free, humans.